Health officials are tracking flu cases in the state after 6 people have died from the virus so far this season.
Cold weather across the Bluegrass State. Looks like that hangs tough into the new year.
And 2 people facing charges in a Winchester murder case appeared in court for the first time today.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 4.
Well, don't let those beautiful sunny skies outside fool you. It is cold out there, that is for sure. Take a look. This is a live look now from one of our WKYT sky cams of the sun shining on downtown Lexington. But let's check in now with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey. Chris, are these temperatures supposed to drop even more as we head into the new year?
Yeah, final day of the year is going to be a lot colder than what we had out there today. But the good news about all this, Amber, we are going to keep the sunshiny skies for at least a couple more days. Not just downtown Lexington getting in on the act. Check out the view on our side of town, Hamburg Pavilion. Blue skies across Lexington, temperatures into the middle 30s now. Though it feels like upper 20s, we've had a nice little breeze that has been blowing pretty much all afternoon long. Humidity continues to come way down there as some modified Arctic air blows into the Bluegrass State tonight and tomorrow. Live First Alert Defender, not a whole lot going on. A little bit of cloud cover far southeastern Kentucky, where some of the mountains along the Virginia border whitened earlier this morning. To our north and northwest, a hint of some cloud cover. Nothing, though, that is really going to get in our way until later this week when we watch a storm system that is kind of parking itself for a couple of days across the desert southwest. That is our late week winter weather threat coming up Friday and into the weekend. Though between now and then, the focus of the forecast as we say hello to a new year is on the cold weather, and then we'll break down that wintry potential for especially Friday when I come back in about 15 minutes, Amber.
All right, Chris, we'll see you then. Thank you. State health officials are investigating after 6 people in Kentucky have died from the flu so far this season. The flu activity level in Kentucky is now categorized as widespread, which is the highest level. WKYT Sam Smith has more on this health alert. It's our top story at 4.
On the state and county level, everyone is keeping track of the flu this flu season. Statewide, there have been 6 deaths related to the flu. 1 child and 5 adults. State officials say in a given flu season, the number of deaths related to flu complications vary each year, and that figure could be around 3,000 deaths. I'm told the very young and the very old are most vulnerable to the flu and are most likely to have complications. Here in Franklin County, the health department has 46 confirmed cases this week. Doctors want to remind everyone to keep their hands clean and to avoid putting your hands in your mouth or rubbing your eyes without washing them first. Also to remember to cover your mouth when sneezing or coughing, and if you have to stay home from work or school, to avoid spreading the flu. They say it's not too late to get a flu shot and want to encourage everyone to get one as soon as possible. In Frankfort, Sam Smith, WKYT.
This is the 4th week we have been at the widespread flu level. Officials say this is earlier than usual. 2 people accused in a Central Kentucky murder made their first appearance in court this afternoon. Lamont Wilkerson is charged with murder and Lillian Barnett with complicity to murder. Amber Cottle was shot and killed last week when bullets came through the ceiling of an apartment in Winchester. Police say those shots were fired from an apartment above. Both pled not guilty today in court and asked the judge to lower their bonds, but the judge said no. You're going to hear the 911 tapes from that night and more details from the courtroom today on WKYT News at 5. One of 2 ambulance employees injured in a crash is out of the hospital. Police say a car crossed the median of the Mountain Parkway in Clark County yesterday, hitting an Owsley County ambulance. The 2 people in the car, 38-year-old Marshall Craig and 29-year-old Rebecca Talby, both of Mount Sterling, were killed. Allen Ambulance Company tells us the second employee who was hurt is still in the hospital and might have surgery today. The ambulance wasn't transporting a patient at the time of that crash. We are working on a number of other stories for you on WKYT starting at 4:30. Sam Dick joins us now from the newsroom with a look at some of the news in progress. Hi, Sam.
Good afternoon, Amber. Kentucky State Police are reviewing some new surveillance video of a person of interest in a McCreary County murder case. Police say that earlier this month they found 66-year-old Johnny Taylor dead inside a burning home in the Pine Knot community. According to investigators, Taylor had multiple stab wounds. We'll have the latest on their investigation and this new surveillance video on WKYT News at 4:30. A sad update this afternoon. We have learned that a second person has now died as a result of that fiery crash in Madison County. The Fayette County Coroner's Office says 38-year-old Melissa Mead of Ohio died this morning at UK Hospital. Her car crashed into a van Saturday night on I-75 in Madison County. 41-year-old Christopher Truesdell also died in that crash. Mead's 2 children were also hurt. You'll hear from an Army Ranger who helped pull Mead and her children from the car coming up on WKYT News at 4:30. And a man accused of a murder takes a plea deal, but the victim's mother says she doesn't approve of it. Brian Reed pled guilty today to manslaughter in the death of Gypsy Reyes. Police say that he beat her to death in her Frankfort apartment during an argument in May of last year. As part of the deal, Reed avoided the death penalty. You'll hear from the mother of the victim, and we'll tell you how many years Reed faces in prison now, coming up on WKYT News at 5 o'clock. That's a quick look at some of the news in progress. Amber, back to you.
Sam, thank you. Now to some stories making headlines across the world at 4. The recovery effort is underway in the Java Sea as families deal with the devastating truth about Air Asia Flight 8501. The wreckage was found in the waters off Indonesia. Stacey Cohan reports.
Pieces of lives lost are slowly being brought ashore. Helicopters and divers are sent to recover bodies and belongings of the 155 passengers and 7 crew members aboard Air Asia Flight 8501.
He's a good husband in my eyes, and he's a faithful husband, a great husband. I can't name all his qualities. He's a great husband for me.
Several bodies have been found already in the shallow waters of the Java Sea, as has an emergency exit door. There has been no sign of survivors. Family members cried and some fainted as they learned of the discovery.
I've apologized profusely for what they're going through. I am the leader of this company and I have to take responsibility. That is why I'm here. I'm not running away from my obligations.
The key to the cause of this disaster remains undiscovered. The cockpit voice recorder and flight data recorder, the black boxes.
Every investigation is different. This one, I believe, will underscore the need for floatable black boxes and emergency locating transmitters.
But right now, job one is the need for families to recover what they can of their lost loved ones. I'm Stacey Cohan reporting.
Another Air Asia plane also had a close call today. A plane carrying 159 people overshot the runway in the Philippines. No one was hurt. Authorities in Italy say more bodies could be found aboard a crippled Greek ferry. They've ordered the ship to be brought into an Italian port so it can be searched. More than 400 people were rescued from the ferry after a fire broke out on board. At least 10 people are confirmed dead, and 2 sailors were killed today during the recovery effort when a tow line apparently snapped. Former President George H.W. Bush has been released from a Houston hospital after a nearly week-long stay for treatment of shortness of breath. A family spokesman says the 90-year-old Bush has left Houston's Methodist Hospital and is resting at home. Mr. Bush is the oldest living former U.S. president. A week ago, he was taken by ambulance to the hospital as a precaution. We will tell you why not having health insurance could cost you next in WKYT Money Watch, and why being in New Orleans for New Year's could mean paying top dollar. We'll explain.